walked around, I was so impressed with the innovation, the technology, the ideas, and the opportunities that I see. But then I had a head start because the EFJ is working with the JPS Foundation, and EcoSpark is a key part of seeing you at work today. But resilience is therefore no longer an option for Jamaica. Resilience is essential if we're going to survive. We're no longer trying to just prepare for climate, we have to prepare and act. For small island development states like Jamaica, the whole issue of climate change is no longer an environmental issue alone. It's now a developmental issue, it is an economic issue, it's a social issue, and believe it or not, it's a national security issue. Over the past decade, Jamaica has had to face many climate change issues. Beryl was one, but Melissa is in our mind. Did you know that Melissa cost Jamaica $1.9 trillion? That's a lot of money. That is how much we will have to spend to repair, to get back to where we were. But what does it look like? Over 200 buildings were destroyed. Over 40,000 hectares of agricultural land for our food security were impacted. The JPS, well, the distribution network was severely impacted, and that has its own complications. And for most of you, schools were impacted. Over 600 schools were impacted. That means that the whole of Jamaica was impacted, not just where the hurricane passed. The road to resilience, energy infrastructure, disaster preparedness, and food security speaks to systems that we often take for granted. That's a background, that's a backbone that runs Jamaica. Electricity, food, and water are key to our survival. It's the infrastructure that makes us run, makes us tick. At the last Expo, and I wondered why the last Expo was 2024, because we were there, and I was expecting in 2025, I listened to Ms. Lewis, and I understand why. Makes sense. At that Expo, the Climate Change Division of the Ministry of Water, Environment and Climate Change, that was an area where we put forward our goals. Jamaica's goals are called the National Determined Contributions, and that's where we tell the world what we're going to do. Jamaica was one of the first countries to put its pledge out there for the NDCs when it first happened. Second pledge went out, and I'm pleased to tell you that the third pledge went out just last year. And in that pledge are some interesting things. For instance, we will have 50% of our power generation by renewables by 2030. That's something that we now have to act on, and partnering with JPS, we will make it happen. Now, I know that we will never have 100% renewables, and perhaps that's not what we should be looking at, because renewables have their own goals. But that means we'll be having less greenhouse gases, we'll be contributing even less to what's happening. We have a national energy policy which is directing where Jamaica is going, and it's a clear path to that resilience. But what does resilience look like? Energy infrastructure is where I start, because energy is probably the beginning. This morning, within the first 5 minutes, I'm sure you turned on a light, you turned on a phone, you checked your TV, you checked the